Picture this. It is a Tuesday morning. You are sitting at the kitchen table with your morning cup of coffee. You walk over to check your mail, and right there, at the top of the pile, is an official letter from the Social Security Administration. You tear it open carefully, and the words inside make your heart stop. We have determined that you received more in benefits than you were entitled to. The amount owed is $8,400. If this balance is not settled within 30 days, we will begin recovering it by reducing your monthly benefit by 50%. 50%. Taken from your check, every single month. Until every dollar is recovered. You followed the rules. You filled out every form honestly. You reported what you were supposed to report. None of that changes what is written in that letter. And if you tuck that letter away and tell yourself you will handle it later, the clock is already moving. I am Masha. I am a senior policy analyst, and I have dedicated years of my career to helping retired Americans navigate the complicated rules that govern their Social Security benefits, and to making sure they know how to defend themselves when those rules create unexpected problems. Today, I am going to walk you through exactly what an SSA overpayment notice means, what the agency is authorized to do under current policy, and what legal rights you have available to fight the decision or protect your monthly income while your case works its way through the system. Please stay with me all the way to the end of this video. There is one mistake, one very specific mistake, that seniors across the country make when one of these notices lands in their mailbox, and that mistake leads to losing half of their monthly check without any additional warning. This mistake can absolutely be avoided, and I am going to walk you through exactly how. I want to share a story with you about a woman named Margaret. Margaret is 69 years old. She lives in the state of Ohio. She spent 4 decades working as a bookkeeper before retiring at age 66. Her Social Security retirement payment, $1,840 every month, is her entire source of income. That money covers her rent, it buys her groceries, it pays for her prescriptions. There is not a backup plan. Toward the end of 2025, a notice arrived from the Social Security Administration. According to the letter, Margaret had received $5,200 more than she was owed over a 2-year period. SSA said the reason was part-time work income that had not been properly reported, though Margaret was certain she had done everything right through her employer. The letter was clear. She had 30 days to respond. Margaret read it and felt a wave of frustration wash over her. She had not done anything wrong. This was SSA's error, not hers. She decided she was not going to send back money she did not owe just because a letter told her to. She would wait for things to get sorted out on their own. She put the letter down. No call, no appeal, no waiver request, no response of any kind within those 30 days. When the following month came around, her Social Security deposit appeared in her bank account. The amount was $920, half of what she normally received. She called Social Security immediately. The representative confirmed what had happened. Because no response had been received within the 30-day window, the automatic 50% benefit reduction had gone into effect. It would stay in place every month until the full $5,200 balance was cleared. For Margaret, that translated to 6 consecutive months surviving on half her usual income. 6 months of making painful choices between filling her blood pressure prescription and keeping her lights on. She did eventually file a waiver, but only after the withholding was already underway. At that point, she was in the position of trying to pause a process that had already started, rather than preventing it from beginning. Margaret is not a careless person. She is not someone who ignores her responsibilities. She was overwhelmed by a stressful situation and made the decision to wait. That single choice cost her half of her income for months on end. Do not find yourself in Margaret's situation. Let me now take you through the verified facts directly. Every piece of information comes from SSA.gov itself and from AARP's published research on this issue. No guessing, no stretching the truth. Fact 1. Understanding what an overpayment actually means. According to SSA.gov, an overpayment is defined as a situation where the Social Security Administration has sent someone more money than they were eligible to receive. SSA acknowledges that this can happen for a wide variety of reasons. A shift in your employment status, a change in how much you earn, a change in your living arrangements, a change in your marital status, or simply because of inaccurate or incomplete data in your file. Here is the critical thing to understand. It does not matter who is responsible for the error, you or SSA. Once SSA concludes that you received more than you should have, the agency is legally obligated to pursue repayment. The only way to change that outcome is to take a specific formal action through one of the options SSA provides. Fact 2. The 30-day deadline and the 50% benefit reduction. This is the detail that surprises most people the most. According to SSA Gov's current published guidance, if you receive an overpayment notice and you take no action within 30 days, meaning you do not repay the amount, file an appeal, request a waiver, or ask for a lower repayment rate, SSA will automatically begin withholding 50% of your monthly Social Security payment. For people who receive retirement benefits, survivor benefits, family benefits, or SSDI, the withholding rate is 50% of the monthly amount. For people who receive SSI, supplemental security income, the applicable rate is generally 10%, not 50%. These are two different programs operating under two different sets of rules. It is important to know which one you are enrolled in, and here is something equally important to understand. The 50% reduction does not require a follow-up notice. It does not require a phone call from SSA. It does not require any kind of court proceeding. It activates automatically the moment the 30-day window expires with no response from you. Fact 3. 3 different options that each serve a different purpose. SSA gives you 3 distinct legal paths when you receive an overpayment notice. Most seniors are only aware of 1 or 2 of them, and a significant number confuse 2 of them with each other. These 3 options are not interchangeable. Each one is designed for a different situation, and selecting the wrong one, or selecting none at all, leads to very different outcomes. The first path is an appeal, formally referred to as a request for reconsideration. This is submitted using Form SSA 561. You would choose this option if you genuinely believe that you were not overpaid at all, or if you think the dollar amount SSA is claiming is inaccurate. This form is a direct challenge to SSA's conclusion. The second path is a waiver, submitted using Form SSA 632BK. You would choose this option if you are not disputing that some overpayment may have occurred, but you believe the error was not your fault, and that being required to pay the money back would create real financial hardship or would simply be unjust given your circumstances. If SSA approves your waiver, the debt is forgiven entirely. The third path is a request for a lower recovery rate, submitted using Form SSA 634. You would choose this option if you accept that you owe the balance but cannot manage having 50% of your check taken each month. SSA can reduce the monthly recovery amount to a level that does not put you in financial distress. These are 3 entirely different tools built for 3 entirely different situations. The outcome you get depends on choosing the right one. Fact 4. A built-in protection that the vast majority of seniors never hear about. This is the information that could have protected Margaret. And it is the information most seniors never receive. Per SSA Gov, if you submit either a waiver request or an appeal within 30 days of receiving the overpayment notice, SSA will not move forward with collection while your request is being evaluated. That means the 50% withholding is placed on hold. Your regular monthly payment continues in full while SSA works through the review process and arrives at a decision. This protection has a hard requirement attached to it. You must act within those 30 days. Once that window closes without any response from you, the withholding begins automatically. From that point forward, you are no longer in a position to prevent the loss. You are trying to undo something that has already happened, and that is a significantly more difficult position to be in. For those who receive SSI specifically, SSA's 2026 guidelines note that the window to file an appeal is 60 days from the date the notice is received. Filing within that window allows current SSI payments to continue while the determination is being made. The protections built into this system are real, but every single one of them requires you to take action within a specific time frame. Fact 5. What happens when you are no longer receiving benefits? This section is especially relevant for people who have already stopped receiving Social Security payments, as well as for family members who are managing benefits connected to a loved one. Per SSA.gov, if you are no longer an active Social Security recipient and SSA identifies an overpayment that occurred while you were receiving benefits, the debt does not simply disappear. The agency is authorized to pursue that balance through other means, including withholding money from your federal tax refund, withholding certain state-level payments you may be owed, and garnishing your earnings if you are still part of the workforce. There is one additional fact that every family should be aware of. Per SSA.gov, if a person passes away before an overpayment on their record has been fully recovered, SSA may pursue repayment from individuals who are receiving benefits tied to that person's record. This could affect a surviving spouse who receives survivor benefits, or a dependent who relies on family benefits. The overpayment was not theirs, but the consequences can reach them. This is not an edge case, it is official policy. Every family with a member receiving Social Security benefits deserves to understand it. Here are 3 specific steps to take. Write them down while you are watching. Step 1. Open and read the notice right away. Then lock in your deadline. The moment an SSA overpayment notice arrives in your mailbox, treat it as urgent correspondence that requires your attention that same day. Do not set it aside for later. Read through the entire letter carefully. Then locate the date printed on the notice and count 30 days ahead. That date is your deadline. Mark it on your wall calendar. Add it to your phone. Let a trusted family member or friend know about it. Next, focus on understanding exactly what SSA is claiming. How much does the letter say you owe? What reason does it give for the overpayment? Do you agree with the amount, or do you believe it is wrong? The answer to those questions determines which form is the right one for your situation. If any part of the notice is confusing or unclear, call SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. Representatives are available Monday through Friday during regular business hours. You also have the option of going to your nearest Social Security office in person and asking a staff member to walk you through the notice face-to-face. Step 2. Select the correct form for your situation and submit it before the deadline. Once you have a clear understanding of what SSA is claiming, take the action that best matches where you stand. If you believe SSA has it wrong, either that no overpayment occurred at all, or that the amount they are asking for is too high, submit Form SSA 561, the request for reconsideration. This is how you formally appeal the decision. If you are not challenging the overpayment itself, but you believe it was not your fault and that repaying it would cause you genuine financial hardship, submit Form SSA 632BK, the request for waiver of overpayment recovery. This is the strongest protection available and the only path to potentially having the debt removed entirely. If you acknowledge that you owe the money but you simply cannot absorb losing 50% of your benefit every month, submit Form SSA 634, the request for change in overpayment recovery rate. This reduces the monthly impact to something you can actually manage. Every one of these forms is available free of charge at SSA.gov, and paper copies can be obtained at any Social Security office. Submitting within 30 days is what triggers the collection pause that protects your full monthly payment while SSA reviews your case. Once that window is gone, so is the protection. Step 3. Create a paper record of every step you take and verify that SSA received your submission. After you have filed your form, the work is not finished. Before you mail anything, make a photocopy of the completed form and keep it in a safe place. When mailing, use the certified mail option with a return receipt requested. The green delivery card that comes back to you is documentation of exactly when SSA received your submission. If SSA ever raises a question about whether you responded within 30 days, that card is your proof. For every call you place to SSA, write down the date, the time, the name, or employee ID of the person you spoke with, and a summary of what was discussed. Approximately 2 weeks after filing, follow up with SSA to confirm that your request has been received and entered into their system. Do not assume the process is moving forward just because you submitted the form. Verify it. The documentation habit takes only a few minutes to build, but it provides protection that can be the difference between resolving your case cleanly and losing months of income over a paperwork dispute. Let me say this one more time, directly and plainly. If an overpayment notice has arrived for you, you have real rights. You have legal options. SSA cannot permanently reduce your monthly benefit to half without first giving you the chance to respond. But that chance exists only within the 30-day window. Margaret had every right that you have. She simply did not act while the window was open. And for 6 months afterward, she lived on half of what she needed. You have the information now. The window is still open. Use it. Before we wrap up, I want to share something that I tell every senior I work with directly. YouTube notifications are not a reliable system for staying informed about your government benefits. The platform's algorithm determines what appears in your feed and what does not, and when. Social Security policies evolve, overpayment procedures change, and if the update you need happens to get filtered out of your feed, you may not discover it until a letter is already sitting on your kitchen table with a 30-day deadline attached. That is exactly the problem we created the Global Senior Alerts official WhatsApp channel to solve. When you join through the link posted in the video description, real-time benefit alerts are delivered directly to your phone, no algorithm filtering, no missed notifications. You receive timely information about developments in Social Security policy, updates to Medicare coverage, changes in pension regulations, shifts in bank account rules, insurance deadline reminders, and travel regulation changes that affect seniors. And for everyone who joins right now, we are offering a free download of our Senior Benefits Protection Guide. This is a practical, step-by-step reference written in plain language, covering your rights in overpayment situations, Medicare termination protections, SSI-specific rules, and a great deal more. Print it out, store it alongside your other important documents. Pass a copy along to your adult children or other family members who help you manage your benefits. The link is in the description below. Click it, join the channel, and download the guide today. And if this video gave you information you did not have before, please take a moment to share it with at least one person in your life who relies on Social Security. There may already be someone close to you who received one of these notices and set it aside, not realizing that the clock on their 30-day window is already counting down. Sharing this video could be the reason they act in time. I am Masha. Thank you for watching. Please take care of yourself and stay protected.